Alright, hey everyone, it's our final day in Ipoh before we head up to Penang. We're checking out some of the famous sites here. This one right here is Kellie's Castle. This is a place I had come to actually many times before, but I had never recorded it in a vlog. I didn't start vlogging until, a year ago or so. So Kellie's Castle here, the story behind this is basically some Scottish guy. This is actually a Scottish castle right here in Malaysia. But the Scottish guy came here, he tried to build the castle, and then unfortunately I think he died before it was ever completed. So should be pretty interesting. People say it's haunted inside. I think I've taken a picture of a ghost before. I'll put it in the video if I can find it. If not, you just have to trust me on it. Took a picture. There was like a face in the window when supposedly there was no one inside. So one of my friends, however, did end up catching what looked like a floating white dress inside of the castle. I saw their picture of it. It was pretty crazy. Like, it was like a girl in like one of the upper windows just floating. So the other reason why they say that this is haunted is because the Japanese actually use this to execute people. In this tower, you've got like a big shaft that I think they were planning to build like an elevator in, and the Japanese would like execute people, like push them down or something, that elevator shaft. So apparently got a lot of ghosts in here.
The Victorian era was the start of a golden age for the British Empire that led to a great expansion of wealth, power, and culture. It pushed for the innovation of technology and industrialization. However, this expansion caused a massive migration of rural agrarian people into highly dense, polluted cities and created an elite class that exploited their workers, driving many into poverty. William Smith was born on the 1st of March in the year 1870 on a small farm near Dallas in Moray Firth, Scotland. The Smiths lived as poor farmers. They were adversely affected by the Industrial Revolution and struggled to make ends meet. As the British expanded into India, Burma, Sri Lanka, and Malaysia, there was ample opportunity for young British men with a penchant for adventure. The 20-year-old civil engineer, William Smith, decided to seek his fortune overseas and ended up in Batu Gajah, where he worked for Charles Alma Baker, a colonial pioneer from New Zealand. William joined him in his survey work in road construction in South Perak. His partnership with Alma Baker prospered, and he managed to acquire 200 acres of land in the Batu Gajah area for cultivation. William attempted to plant coffee, but the coffee boom was over, and the price had crashed due to competition from Brazil. William then started a rubber plantation that became successful, since rubber was the raw material for pneumatic tires, which was in high demand. In 1903, William had to leave for Scotland to be with his dying mother, but on his return, he met a woman named Agnes on the ship headed for Penang. Agnes was traveling to the east for the first time, and they must have fallen in love there, because they were married almost immediately. Back in Batu Gajah in 1903, the newly betrothed William and Agnes lived in a wooden bungalow on William's estate called the Kellis House, named after his family's farm in Scotland. In 1904, Agnes gave birth to a baby girl whom they named Helen Agnes. The construction of Kellie's Castle began soon after Helen's birth. The architecture style of Kellie's Castle was heavily influenced by Roman, Moorish, and Indo-Saracenic ideals. William freely mixed architectural styles. For example, at the top of the wall of the second Kellis house, the ruins in front of the castle, a trio of pointed Gothic arches on the inside was masked by pointed Mughal structures on the exterior, physically marrying two architectural styles. Another window had a stepped head, precursing by 20 years the popular Art Deco style, which only came to Malaysia in the 1930s. William seemed to be fascinated by the Hindu religion and Indian architecture. On top of hiring 70 skilled workers from Madras, most of the raw materials he used in the decorative parts of the castle had come from India. There were also marble tiles from Italy and apricot bricks made in Malaysia. When construction began, cement was not yet available, and so bricks were pasted together using a mixture of duck egg white, sand, chalk, brown sugar, and honey. There were no nails or metal used during the construction of the castle. William ensured that the walls provided proper insulation from the sun with ventilation holes throughout the building for air circulation. The original plans of the castle were said to comprise 14 different rooms. However, William faced a string of setbacks, bad luck, and financial problems. William lost substantial money when he tried to start a marble quarry. When World War I struck in 1914, the work on the castle was halted. Raw construction materials could not easily enter Malaysia due to risks and shipping costs. In 1918, a deadly influenza pandemic known as the Spanish flu killed millions of people around the world. The deadly flu made its way to Malaysia, and more than 70 of William's Indian estate workers died, including all his skilled masons, plasterers, and tilers, specifically imported from India to work on the castle. In 1926, William traveled to bring his daughter Helen to visit Agnes in Europe and to collect the lift he had commissioned for his castle. This lift would have been the first in Malaysia. He stopped by Lisbon to finalize the terms of his planting concessions in Portuguese Timor. However, while staying at the hotel, he caught a chill, developed pneumonia, and passed away on the 11th of December. Agnes and her children never returned to Malaysia. She sold her interest in the Kellie estate and the castle to Harrison and Crossfield. The company had no intention to complete the castle as it was considered a waste of money. For almost a century, Kellie's castle had been consumed by the jungle, an abandoned symbol of British colonial rule in Malaysia. A story of one man's dreams, aspirations, frustrations, and ultimately tragedy, and some say a symbol of undying love.
So while most of the castle behind us I think was mostly completed, it's this area behind me that was left unfinished and will likely never be completed. So during the construction of this castle, they even imported marble from Italy. You can see like up at the top there, kind of, they've got like a whole bunch of marble. I think it looks like maybe like a bathroom or something. Anyway, next we're gonna head up to the upper levels of the castle. You've got the elevator lift shaft that I mentioned. This was supposed to be like the first one in Malaysia. Over here they've got roof access. You can actually climb up here, go on top of the roof. Some of it's kind of scary because they don't really have any guardrails, especially like up there behind me. You can walk up there to that top part and stand on the roof there. I guess they did add some chain. I don't think that was there before though. You can kind of see like behind me, behind the castle, this whole area is surrounded by the palm oil plantations. I actually know a guy that owns one of these plantations somewhere around here in the Ipoh area, I think, and he's got one of those really big British style houses here. Getting pretty cloudy and I think a storm's about to come in, so I'm gonna head up to the top of this roof section real quick to get a couple more videos up there, and then we'll probably get out of here and head on to our next spot. Right here, this is the top of the elevator shaft. This is the shortcut down, as everyone is saying. More cool thing since I'm out here. Malaysia's got wild shy grass. In America, you can only find it at like certain plant shops, but here it just grows everywhere. This one, I think, yeah. When I'm walking around Malaysia, I always like to find the shy grass and just start poking it. It's just like so weird. How's a plant so, sensitive? I think like the fly traps, those are pretty weird too.